Hello everybody, welcome to Review a Day episode number 124 for Sunday, January the 25th, 2009. Hello everybody, welcome to Review a Day, the daily video blog where I review a movie 7 days a week. My name is Leland Brungart and thank you very much for joining me. I just read a kind of interesting bit of news on IMDb that says they're making an American version of the BBC cult series, probably more famous in the UK, Absolutely Fabulous. Ab Fab was one of the shows that when I was younger really got me into British comedy. It's about two older women, single women. One of them has kind of a dorky daughter. They drink all the time. They smoke cigarettes all the time. It's hysterical. I highly recommend Ab Fab. I don't know how I feel about an American version of it. I'm not a big fan of the U.S. Office because I think the original BBC series is a fucking masterpiece. If you're a fan of The Office and you haven't seen the UK BBC Office, drop what you're doing and watch that because it's phenomenal. And I don't know how that show would play on American television because the entire show is centered around these two women drinking and smoking, and it's pretty strange because cigarette smoking has become such like a foreign taboo subject to us. I mean, I watch Mad Men and they smoke all the time on that show, and it's startling to see people smoking indoors on television nowadays. I don't know how I feel about it. Apparently Jennifer Saunders is helping write it, I guess, but even then I don't really want to see it unless it has the same 2 stars, which, bring it on. The film I'm going to be reviewing for you guys today is The Zombie Diaries, and this is a low-budget British mockumentary, kind of a Dawn of the Dead Blair Witch. Might sound similar to Diary of the Dead. I'll talk about that when I get into my review. This one is written, directed, and produced by Michael Bartlett and Kevin Gates. The film stars Russell Jones, Craig Stoven, Johnny Humm, and a bunch of other people. Film's pretty simple. It's a series of diaries, these video diaries of people dealing with a zombie outbreak. The stories are kind of connected in a little bit of ways, but it's just kind of these different episodes of dealing with zombies. I really, really wanted to like The Zombie Diaries. And because I love the spirit of this film. I love that 2 guys wrote, directed, and produced it. It's obviously they love this. It's a product of love. However, there's a couple films that I think have forever ruined zombie films for me, and ruined in the sense that they were so good that it's almost impossible to kind of top them. I think 28 Days Later, they're not really zombies, it's infected and they're fast. It's a zombie movie. 28 Days Later really pushed zombies to the limit. I think what Zack Snyder did with the new Dawn of the Dead, the screenplay is by James Gunn, one of my favorite screenplay writers. Fantastic movie. Fast zombies are amazing. And then Shaun of the Dead, I think, is one of the greatest classically zombie films ever made. But I didn't really like The Zombie Diaries. And the problem I had with it is also a problem I had with Diary of the Dead, which is the newest George Romero zombie film, which is not good. It's the fact that I don't understand why these people I don't know why George Romero made it a mockumentary, and I don't know why these people made it a mockumentary, because the film, the Zombie Diaries, is heavily scripted. It feels heavily scripted. The look of the film looks like the Blair Witch, but the way that people speak is obviously from a screenplay, because these are not experienced actors, and it really shows. And I wish that in this film and in Diary of the Dead didn't look like a mockumentary, it didn't sound like a mockumentary, it was a failure. This one at least looked like it, but I don't understand why, if you're going to make a mockumentary like this, you should really have a heavily improv screenplay. It should really be a loose outline almost, a detailed outline of what should happen, what people are saying, especially with inexperienced actors, because a lot of the performances are incredibly rigid and kind of awkward. One of the main guys in one of the stories is just awful, and he dies later on in the movie, and I did not care. I also think, first of all, the movie has slow zombies, which, after seeing 28 Days Later and the new Dawn of the Dead, I don't like slow zombies anymore. I like when they sprint. It's fucking horrifying. So there's slow zombies in this, and basically every kill of a zombie is the exact same, and it's people with a rifle shooting them in the head and the shit splattering at the back. I mean, when we've seen so many clever kills with zombies, you need to up it or at least have a really strong core story. You can really explore a lot of really great human stories, moral dilemmas, stuff like that. The Robert Kirkman comic book series, The Walking Dead, is about a zombie outbreak, but it's really about how people relate with that, how people deal with that, what it would be like. And I think there's really interesting stories to tell in there. And there's glimmers of it throughout the film. I think there's a zombie slave toward the end of this film that is disturbing and interesting, but unfortunately I don't think the film uses that very well. I give the Zombie Diaries a 2.5 out of 5. I loved the spirit of this movie. I like that it's these people who were obviously having a lot of fun making this movie. Unfortunately, it's not very interesting. I'm waiting for someone to make a good goddamn mockumentary zombie film, because it has yet to be made. It's not the Zombie Diaries, and it definitely is not Diary of the Dead. If you guys like this review, make sure and give me some star ratings, or head over to nitpicket.com for all of my movie reviews, blogs, trailers I post bits of news there. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow.